If you had seen what Bethlehem was like 2,000 years ago, you might have wondered what all the fuss was about too. It was a pretty small place with not much going for it, known as David's town, because way back in Israel's history it had been the birthplace of the unassuming shepherd boy who later became king. 300 years after David, the prophet Micah wrote that despite its insignificance, another ruler would come from Bethlehem. "You've already produced one unlikely king," he seemed to be saying, "now look out for another one."
Sound of Bethlehem, how still we see you lie above your deep and dreamless sleep. The silent stars go by.
This carol was written in the 1860s after a priest called Philip Brooks had taken a trip on horseback from Jerusalem to visit the place of Jesus' birth. It paints a vivid picture of an overnight scene where, while a small town sleeps peacefully, an incredible story is playing out with major consequences. It's as if Bethlehem itself is a character in the drama. The Bible's narrative is rooted in a specific time and place, and that's deliberate. Instead of describing God's intervention in abstract or philosophical terms, these are real people who, although they're not written in huge detail, are hugely relatable. Mary, the unexpected teenage mother. Joseph, the bewildered stepfather. The shepherds, rough and ready, and the Magi, exotic and glamorous. It's the people that make this personal. God broke into real people's lives to show that He wants to relate and that He cares personally. And it's still true. He knows our names, our history, our personality. He knows what makes us happy and the things we're struggling with.
Descend to us, we pray. Cast out our sin and enter in. Be born in us today.
To quote a man called J. John, the Christmas message is not some mass posting to the whole of humanity with the greeting "to whom it may concern." It's a personal message for each one of us. And the final verse of this carol invites a personal response. Singing a line like "Be born in us today" is an invitation for God to break into our lives. Why don't you take some time to think about that? And you might even consider making this prayer your own.